Woo! Hey everyone, this is Collapse and Protect, and this is my Stoeger M3000. So I did a video not too long ago about ghost loads, and I was really just explaining like what they were, because I don't think a lot of people knew what they were. And it actually got a lot of traction, and I'm extremely thankful that it did. I really appreciate your guys' support. That's awesome. I didn't think it was gonna get over a couple thousand views, but it blew up. But there were a lot of people in the comments saying that ghost loading your shotgun would make it unreliable, and that your gun would jam up, seize up, gum up, whatever you want to call it. Your gun would be out of action when you need it. So tonight we're gonna find out if ghost loading is a reliable means of +1ing your favorite shotgun. Let's get into it. So when I saw these comments come out questioning on whether or not ghost loading was reliable, I was actually pretty proud and impressed of the people asking about it. In law enforcement, we have a saying that goes, trust but verify. And that basically means you can trust what someone tells you, but you do need to verify it and make sure that what they're telling you is true. That looks something like this. Excuse me, sir, do you have any active warrants or anything in the vehicle I need to know about? Oh, no, nothing in the vehicle. Okay, have a nice day. That's not gonna work, and that can get you real hurt real fast. Excuse me, sir, do you have any active warrants or anything I need to know about in the vehicle? No, nothing's in the vehicle. Okay, well, I'm just gonna check. Do you have your ID on you? Yeah, here's my ID. Sir, you have 3 warrants for aggravated robbery. Step out of the car, please. My point is, make sure that it's actually right and it's factually true. Otherwise, you could wind up very hurt. So the first place I looked for information on ghost loading or carrier loading, floating a shell, whatever you want to call it, was the Marine Corps. The Marines have been using something pretty similar to this guy right here called the Benelli M4. Now, while the Benelli M4 operates on a gas system and this is an inertia-driven system, it's still a shotgun in semi-automatic format. So I jumped online and found this guy right here, the Marine Corps manual for the Benelli M4. I scrolled through the pages, and what do you think I found? A section on carrier loading your Benelli M4 shotgun. Now, I think this is a pretty credible source because the United States Marine Corps has been carrier loading their shotguns since they started using them in conflicts for a couple decades now. And there are no reports of carrier loading ever inducing any catastrophic malfunctions or malfunctions of any kind. So the way I think of it is that anything that's good enough for the Marine Corps in a combat theater is gonna be good enough for me. I know, my art is amazing. Behold, this is what I have to show you today, the anatomy of a ghost load. So under normal operation, we have a full magazine tube, and we also have a chamber that has 1 shell in it. When we pull the trigger, this shell gets ejected out of the gun, and then this first shell in line gets loaded onto the shell lifter, up and into the chamber or barrel. The only difference we have here with a ghost load is this empty space. During that firing cycle, this space is empty before we pull the trigger. So all we're gonna do with the ghost load is simply fill this space with another shell. So now we have 1 in the chamber and we have a full magazine tube. We're just gonna drop 1 onto the shell lifter. When we pull the trigger, this one still gets ejected, this one still moves up and into the chamber. Now it's ready to fire. The reason that this isn't gonna malfunction in the gun is because these shells never move. Now, if these rounds were to move from the mag onto the shell loader by themselves when there's already a shell here, of course you're gonna have a malfunction because your shotgun's gonna be binding up. But it's not gonna do that, and it's not gonna do that for the same reason that your shotgun doesn't do that during a normal sequence of fire. During a normal sequence of fire, your shotgun's not just gonna eject the shell that was in the chamber and then move 1 back, whoop, 2 back, uh-oh, we got a lot of problems here. It's not gonna do that as long as it's functioning correctly and you don't have any broken pieces in here. Shotguns, as well as all other firearms, are designed with mechanical precision, so if any of these parts are out of sync, then you'll have a malfunction. But ghost loading doesn't change the function or the order in which these shells that work their way back up into the chamber, the trigger's pulled, and your gun's ready to fire again. It doesn't change any way that the gun functions. It just allows you to use up this empty space on top of the lifter. But let's not stop there. Why don't we test it out for ourselves? So I'm just gonna load up the magazine tube. Then we're gonna put 1 in the chamber or barrel. And then we're gonna drop 1 on the lifter. And these are snap caps, so they're inert. We don't have to worry about any accidents happening. And what we're gonna do is just dry fire it and run it as if we were really shooting this shotgun. Seems pretty simple to me. Okay, so dry firing seems to work just fine. No issues, no problems. Let's go out to the real range and put some rounds through it. Oh, it's cold out here, but we're gonna try and see exactly how reliable this ghost loading stuff is with live ammunition here. So we'll drop our shell onto the carrier, let our bolt slide over top, and we're ready to go. Well, the first one worked out just fine. We'll drop our bolt, top off our magazine again, put one in the barrel or the chamber, and drop one onto the lifter again. And that's the hardest one to get into place, is the one on the lifter. Drop our bolt and we're ready to go again. Well, that one, we did a whole side card with it. Let's put another one on and go again. Now, bear in mind, this isn't something you're gonna do really quickly. So in like a high stress situation or a combat situation, this isn't gonna be something you wanna do. Like supporting me, you can go to the link in the description and buy an ATF is poo-poo t-shirt, and that'll definitely help me out. If you do, it's very much appreciated. But again, don't feel like you need to. This is just a hobby for me. That finishes off that second card. Here's our last card. We'll stick it on the gun. So far, so good. You can definitely get a lot faster at this just with practice, but still not something I'd want to do during a fight. There you have it. It seems pretty reliable to me. So guys, go out with your shotgun and carrier load, ghost load, float a shell, whatever you want to call it. Go out and practice with your own gun. Make sure it works for you, because at the end of the day, that's really all that matters. If you enjoy watching this kind of thing, hit the subscribe button, give it a like, and then throw a comment down in the comments section. I absolutely love getting the feedback. It lets me know what I need to work on, and it gives me ideas for future videos. Until next time, this is Collapse and Protect. Have fun and be safe.